Hello, everyone. I'm Maddox Brown with New England MMA News, and I'm here with Andrew the Gladiator Valdina. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Good. We're gonna get right into it. In your most recent fight at Cage Titans, you defeated Noah Abdil. Tell me about how, like, that finishing sequence and how did that materialize?
Yeah, so last Saturday I picked up my fifth professional win, got the 5-0 against a tough Hawaiian, Noah Abdil. Um, and yeah, I mean we had a game plan going in where like we kind of knew that this kid wanted to stand and bang. Most of his fights, he's always trying to keep it up on the feet and get into like a kickboxing match with their opponent. Getting the sub over him. So yeah, I cracked him with the big left hand. I kind of drew him into the shot. I picked up some little habits that I saw early in the fight, and probably cracked him around like the 2 minute mark, maybe like a minute and a half mark, and then I worked him on top. I got to showcase a little jiu-jitsu action, and secured the first round rear naked. Man, it was a good night.
Yeah, it was. I watched that fight live. That was sick.
Let's go. I'm happy you were there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to the next one unless something comes up, but I'll be there.
Nothing, nothing's coming up. You're gonna be there, bro. That's a good night, right?
All right. Was there any like different preparation in camp for this fight than other ones, like motivation wise?
Yeah, motivation wise, definitely was because like although 2023, honestly was like a great year for me. I picked up three wins and within 3 cards in a row. Picked up fighter of the year. It was a good year, but like I still ended the year with like these injuries and like that kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth to end the year. Where like I was such on a good hot streak, so much momentum going for me, and then boom, it just cuts off. For like half. I really wanted to just get back out there and show people that like listen, I had this momentum, I can pick it right back up, and I wanted to like prove to people too that I'm not just some guy that's you know fighting bums out here or anything. I want to really show that I'm ready to take it to the next level. And I think in the past year, I just had it on my mind to fulfill what I set out to do from day one of starting this journey. And yeah, it fired me up for sure going into this comeback fight.
Did you face any challenges in that training camp, or was it just smooth?
Um, I mean, challenges wise, like when we're talking about like injuries whatsoever, thankfully, man, it was a great training camp. I'd say maybe the only like quote unquote challenge. I don't even know if I'd really say challenge, but it was like I just I ended up switching gyms for this most recent fight. I've been with Lowe's on MMA for my entire MMA career, and I just made a professional decision to jump over to New England Cartel with Tyson Chartier, and that was just kind of like not really a challenge, but it was just kind of tough for me to like figure out if it's the right move or not, just because like I have so much respect for both gyms. I like they both produce great fighters and stuff like that. Um, but I just kind of felt a little funny leaving Lozon's for a little bit, because I don't know, it's just a little funny. But it all worked out. We're still all on good terms. Joe Lozon even courted me for the fight and everything. So yeah, it all worked out well. No challenges really. It was a good camp.
So you just this same
Besides getting
camp,
my ass, they had
so like this camp, you're just gonna switch back and forth also?
yeah, this camp I'm still sticking to the same training regimen. New England Cartel and Mom's Basement. I'd say every single day of the week. I might try to hit Lozon MMA once a week to get some good knowledge from Joe for the Nogi department and stuff. The grappling. But yeah, basically the same camp as this last fight. I'll be continuing with this one.
How did your team like mentally support you throughout the camp? Because like the injuries and stuff that took you out.
No, they were wicked support. Like we all kind of knew like it's like a huge like it's like a road bump. You know what I mean? And like they all knew that like I was kind of like pissed off about it for a while because like I love the fight. It's all I do. So they understood, but like we still had like to keep the train rolling. You know what I mean? Like the team doesn't stop for one guy, and I think I supported them just as much as they were supporting me. Everyone else was already still gearing up for their own fights. So I just kind of stayed in the room, even if I wasn't able to practice. I was still in the room trying to like just like keep like the uh, pick up my own knowledge too, just like watching. I was good about it. I cornered a few times for my teammates while I was on the sideline, which was cool. And yeah, we all just kind of like were on the same page. Take it slow, and you'll be back better than ever. So
Now we're gonna get into your next fight, which I'm so excited for. You're fighting Tyler Smythe at Cage Titan 66 on July 20th. Uh, how do you think you match up against Smythe, and how do you see this fight going for you?
yeah, Tyler Smythe, man, he's next on the list for July 20th, Cage Titan 66. Uh, I feel really confident about it. Um, if you look at a lot of his fights, man, he's just he's developed a little bit more of like comfortability in the cage. But in almost every single fight I've seen, he kind of just looks very, very stiff. Like he's like just desperate to get into a grappling exchange, and he hates standing in front of somebody without having some type of connection. And I picked that up a lot. And I think him being not so comfortable in that cage, like you're gonna see me, like you've seen me in every single fight that I've had in that Plymouth Memorial Hall, man, the Coliseum. It's my home. That's where I feel loose. I feel free, and it's really gonna show the difference in skill. I think in the game of MMA in general, I think he's just gonna look really stiff, timid, and a little scared. And I'm just gonna be free. And it's gonna be a really good night.
What weaknesses do you see in Tyler Smythe's game?
Like I just said, man, like he doesn't. I really don't think he's gonna be comfortable in that cage. Is what I love to do. I think a big advantage I have over him is that freedom and looseness you're going to see out of me on the feet, ready to take the fight at any given moment to the ground, keeping it standing, keeping him in range, keeping him in tight in the pocket. Anything I want to do, it's going to look loose and free and just smooth and right. And I think what you're going to see him in his style, man, he's going to be very timid, very, very a little nervous and hesitant to throw anything and get into any exchange. And I think the moments that he does try to throw is where he's going to get caught really bad. I think he'll overextend himself, and I'll find my punches landing, crack him a little bit, take him to the ground, smother him, and I'd say that's called a night right there, man. I think I'm gonna just smother this kid and just be dominant in every facet of the MMA.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. Uh, how do you see this fight impacting your career moving forward?
There, um, and with a win over someone like that, it's gonna do big things for me. I don't know if it's gonna get me out of the region just yet, but I'll be ready to fight the next toughest test after Tyler.
Do you think you could like maybe get a title fight after this, or maybe like fight a like number one contender fight and then maybe go up to the title?
I mean, yeah, I think titles are always really cool. I think it's a good marketing piece, to the head guys in operation up in the UFC and stuff like that. I think they probably, they might think that's a little good marketing piece. But again, I've said this time and time again, man, I'm not chasing belts, I'm chasing skulls. So after this fight, the belt is not really on my mind still. It would be very nice, and I think I'd do just fine with 5 rounds for a belt. But I'm just gonna do what my team thinks that I should do, and if they think it's for a belt, great. If they think let's just get another tough, just see what's after this. But definitely someone tough.
All right. Now we're gonna get into some of the fun questions. What are your or who is your favorite MMA fighter of all time?
MMA fighter of all time. I really like Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. I always liked his style. He has like a complete game. He's fast. I like his personality. I'd say Mighty Mouse.
Uh, did you play any other sports before you started like your MMA journey?
Yeah, in high school, I ran cross country and I wrestled. So cross country was kind of just to get me ready for wrestling. And then I wrestled through college as well. And right after my college wrestling career ended, I went right into Lowe's and MMA. Picked up my first fight after like 3 months after my wrestling season was over.
I didn't know you wrestled at college. Where'd you go?
Bridgewater State. Bridgewater State.
Um, what are some hobbies you have like outside of fighting and training?
So I mean, anything outside, you know what I mean? Like if we're outside of fight camps, or even if we're in fight camps, we got some leisure time on like a Sunday session over at the basement, mom's basement. Uh, Sometimes we'll go for a little bike ride and stuff around the neighborhood. Connor brings out the skateboard, or he'll just like he's into like running now like crazy, like a madman. He's running like 6 minute miles and shit. Uh, no, we usually just take the bikes out. He takes the skateboard out and go for a little bike paths and stuff like that. I'm also a big nerd when it comes to like video games. I play a lot of video games. Um, and anytime I can get to the movies, I like going to the movies too.
What's your favorite video game?
So this is where I get really nerdy, man. My favorite video game is Skyrim. You know what I mean? That's my favorite game of all time. I put a disgusting amount of hours into that game too.
And now we're gonna go off the movies. What are your top five movies of all time?
Shit, top five. That's a lot to name right now, but here we go. Number one, Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe. I don't know if you've seen it, but I highly suggest it. Um, Number two, I'm probably gonna catch hate for this list, but number two, I'm going Django. I love Django. Uh, Three, I don't know if I can just pick one, but I want to go the Rocky collection. But if you really want to like put a gun to my head, what's my favorite Rocky for the three spot? I'm going Rocky Four. Um, Now we're going for the number four movie. Let's go with Meet the Parents. That's an awful pick, but I'm going Meet the Parents for four. And finally, fifth, last but not least, let's go with I'm gonna go with Infinity War. Marvel's the Avengers Infinity War.
What's your favorite TV show series?
So this isn't my favorite, but because it's on my mind, man, Your Honor on Netflix is crazy right now. And that's good. Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. It might actually be Breaking Bad. I think I'm gonna throw Breaking Bad in there.
Who are your biggest inspirations in MMA? Just like all around.
In the sport of MMA.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, this might sound like a cheesy answer, but how can you not be inspired by Conor McGregor's story? You know what
yeah.
I mean? He's a he made it to as high as you can possibly get, you know. So definitely Conor and uh I don't know. There's a bunch of little inspirational stories you hear about all these guys coming up. You know, the champ has a name, Charles the Bronx, man. Like that's really inspirational. But no, I'm going with Conor number one.
Uh, who's your favorite like your current your current favorite UFC fighter?
Current. He's not listen, like I don't want to go with like rank. Like I don't think this guy's the best out of like I can pick like probably a bunch of people that would beat him. But I really do like Diego Lopes right now. He's pretty
Dude,
cool to watch,
yeah.
kind of style a little bit with the mullet and that whole UFC three. First of all, just to backtrack,
Yeah.
UFC three, dude, they're going with all the gladiator stuff for like 300 Spartan Warriors.
Yeah.
They threw a gladiator helmet on Diego Lopes with the mullet, dude. It drove me nuts. But Diego Lopes is really fun to
Uh,
watch.
yeah, he is really fun. He's one of my favorite fighters right now too. What was your like reactions to Mitch Raposo's UFC debut?
I mean, he definitely looked like he belonged in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's unfortunate that we don't get to see the Fall River kid get the dub, but he's not one of those kids to be like, oh, down in the dumps, like, oh, my life's over. Like, no, he's probably already itching to get back to the gym and and get that one back. So, my reaction was he definitely looked like he belonged in the cage. He looked like he belonged to the big stage. Didn't look like any of the bright lights, did anything crazy to him. And I'm definitely excited to see him back in there too.
What was your opinion on the Poirier Islam fight?
I mean, it's unfortunate. I was
Yeah, I
rooting
wish. Yeah.
I was rooting for the diamond, but um, No, Islam's an animal, and Dustin did fight a really a good fight. I don't think he should hold his head or anything like that. I think he probably did had one of the best performances against Islam, again, compared to any of his old fighters. I mean, his old opponents. But no, that was a crazy fight. I thought there were a couple times where Dustin was going to really let the hands go and crack him, but Islam was just he's a champion for a reason, man. You know, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, he's one of the best right now. Or he is the
Yeah.
best right now, actually. What does fighting mean to you?
Fighting is it's my everything right now, man. This is all I do. I think fighting is just the purest form of expressing yourself too. If we're really going to take it that way, man, like it's just two guys in a cage that want to assert themselves as the more dominant person, and it's kind of like survival of the fittest, dude. It's everything, and I love it. I really do. I love everything about the sport. How you have to sacrifice so much for it. And I think it's just huge dividends in chasing this type of lifestyle while giving everything you have to something like that and putting all your focus into something like that and just improving yourself as a person through the whole journey too. I think it's the best sport in the world, man.
What are your goals for the remainder of 2024?
Goals for 2024, man. Just keep. Want to beat Tyler Smythe. I want to be on my game and take a contender out and continue the path of where I want to be. So goals: stay undefeated, get past Tyler, maybe pick up like two max more fights to finish 2024. I'd say two big ones, and you know, hopefully wait for some type of call to the next stage, man. If I stay undefeated, get three more fights under my belt, and with all finishes, I think that's a good look. So
Yeah,
just being patient, being patient.
I hope you do get that call from Dana.
Thanks, man.
This-
Me too.
And do you have any messages you like to send your supporters before I let you go?
No, I really appreciate everybody's support, man. You guys have been very loyal to me in all my fights. You know who you are, all the fans, all the like people buying tickets, people watching the live streams from home, my teammates, my coaches, my family, my sponsors. You guys, it takes a village. I keep saying it, man. It takes a village, and what I when I get out there and do what I do, it's not just these hands that are putting this kid down. It's a lot of hard work that got poured into this fight from many different people. So I appreciate every single one of you guys, and let's fucking go. Let's get this kid.
All right, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.